Mark and Jenna live in a quiet neighborhood just outside a growing city. From the street, their life looks perfect. A five-bedroom house with fresh paint, two SUVs in the driveway, holiday decorations that change every season. Their social media shows beach vacations, birthday parties with professional photographers, and weekend brunches with friends laughing under patio lights. People assume they've figured life out. But last Tuesday night, Jenna sat at the kitchen table at 11:42 p.m. staring at a spreadsheet she didn't understand anymore because the numbers stopped making sense. They earn almost $200,000 a year combined. That should be enough, more than enough, and yet somehow it never is. Their mortgage alone eats nearly half their take-home pay. The bigger house seemed like a smart decision at the time. Good schools, better resale value, everyone else was moving up. That's what the realtor said. That's what their friends said, so they stretched just a little. Then came the furniture. You don't buy a bigger house and keep the old couch. At least that's what Jenna told herself. New dining table. New rugs, custom blinds, 0% financing. It felt responsible until the payments stacked together. Then Mark got promoted. A raise meant celebration, a newer car. Because showing up to work in the 10-year-old sedan suddenly felt wrong. Everyone else in the parking lot drove something newer. He told himself it was motivation. Success should look like success, right? Now their car payments equal what his parents used to pay for rent. Their kids joined competitive sports because everyone's kids were doing it. Travel tournaments, hotel stays, equipment upgrades. Monthly fees that quietly climbed past $1,000. Nobody talks about that part at the games. Parents just smile and compare schedules. Nobody admits they're exhausted, or worried, or calculating credit limits in their head during halftime. Last month their air conditioner broke. Middle of summer, $3,000. They didn't have it, so they financed it. Again, the technician handed Jenna a tablet and said, "Most people do payments." Most people, that phrase follows her everywhere now. Most people upgrade, most people vacation, most people renovate, most people lease, most people subscribe, most people borrow. Because here's the truth nobody says out loud. Lifestyle inflation doesn't arrive like a disaster, it arrives politely. One reasonable decision at a time. Dinner out because work was stressful. Streaming services because everyone talks about shows you haven't seen. A vacation because you deserve a break. Then another one because everyone else went somewhere better. Social media doesn't help. Every scroll feels like proof you're falling behind. Friends posting kitchen remodels, coworkers announcing new homes. Someone you barely know somehow always in another country. Your brain doesn't see debt, it sees success. And comparison turns into pressure. Pressure turns into spending, and spending turns into quiet panic you never admit to anyone. Across the street lives Carl. Carl drives a 15-year-old pickup truck. His lawn isn't perfect. His house hasn't been remodeled since the early 2000s. Nobody notices Carl, but Carl retired at 59, no debt. Investments growing quietly for decades. He never tried to look successful, he just became it. Meanwhile, Mark and Jenna look like they're winning, but they argue about money every week. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just tired conversations that end with silence. Maybe we should cut back. We can't pull the kids out now. What will people think? That last question matters more than they realize. Because embarrassment feels worse than interest payments. Admitting you can't afford something feels like failure, so the performance continues. New clothes for events, group trips nobody wants to cancel, birthday parties bigger every year. All funded by cards that promise rewards points while quietly charging interest. Then something small happens. Mark's company announces restructuring. Nothing serious, it just rumors, but suddenly Jenna realizes they have less than 2 weeks of savings. 2 weeks. In a life that costs thousands every month just to maintain appearances, that's when the illusion cracks, because wealth is what people see. Wealth is how long you can breathe when income stops, and most people can't breathe very long. Here's the uncomfortable reality: many of the people you compare yourself to are also stressed, also borrowing, also hoping next year fixes everything. They aren't ahead, they're just louder about looking ahead. The cycle keeps going because nobody wants to be the first person to step off the treadmill, but stepping off is the only way out. It means driving the paid-off car longer, saying no to trips, canceling subscriptions nobody notices anyway. Cooking at home when friends go out, letting the lawn grow a little uneven. At first it feels like losing, until the credit card balance shrinks, until sleep comes easier, until money stops being the first thought every morning. Because real success doesn't photograph well, it looks boring. Consistency, patience, quiet decisions nobody applauds. One day Mark tells a friend they're cutting expenses. He expects judgment, instead the friend laughs. And admits he's drowning too. Turns out honesty spreads faster than pretending. Most people aren't competing with you, they're competing with fear. Fear of looking behind, fear of being average, fear of admitting the truth. But freedom starts the moment you stop performing for people who aren't paying your bills. The life everyone thinks you have is never as important as the life you actually live. And if this story made you pause for a moment, or see money a little differently, take a second to subscribe and stay with us, because sometimes the smallest mindset shifts quietly change everything.